Hey guys, Pulse here, and today I'm going to start a new series called Delving Deep, a detail-oriented show, which is just going to be me kind of going into the intricacies of some things I've put on the channel already. In this case, Elder Scrolls Online, and in this video specifically, I'm going to talk about the races, the alliances, and at the end I'm going to talk lightly about the classes as well. Thanks for joining me. Let's jump right to it. First off, the Ebonheart Pact, the most unlikely of alliances during this time in which the game is set nearly 2,000 years prior to the events of Skyrim and the player-controlled Dragonborn. The pact consists of the following races: the Nord, the large humans deriving from Skyrim that are natural-born warriors and terrifying on the field of battle. They are quick to anger though and stubborn at the same time, which could be a pretty scary combination if you're on the opposite side of the battlefield. Be wary of these big guys. They're known to be ruthless and they could really crush you if you're not careful. The Dark Elves, known as Dunmer in the Elvish tongue, and are recognized very quickly for their dark skin but also their affinity for magic. Don't count them out though with the blade, however, as many conflicts of Tamriel in the past have made the Dark Elves worthy opponents in all forms of combat, so don't take them lightly. The Argonians, the beasts within the pack, some may say, but the Argonians are far from being just walking lizards that can talk. They are scaly warriors of highly regarded stealth capabilities, as well as their quick-wittedness and their ability to skirmish very well. They're definitely not to be taken lightly. The Black Marsh has done well to harden them, and you should watch your back with these guys. They're scary. The Eldmeri Dominion is the next alliance. These ones are the ones that have garnered the phrase Nazis from a lot of people that don't like the alliance. I'm not going to call them Nazis, even though they are kind of racist, but I will stop there. The Eldmeri Dominion, the armies of this alliance, should not be underestimated because their determination to rule all of Tamriel is unwavering. They are quite the alliance, and they are home to the High Elves first off, the Altmer in the Elvish language, and are supremely skilled in the utilization of magics and are known across the world for their judgmental ways and their stubborn attitudes and sometimes their racial tendencies. Now their bloodline is indeed powerful, and they fucking know it. That's why they're out to rule. On to the next. The Wood Elves, also known as Bosmer in the Elvish tongue, are mischievous and curious creatures, which is very odd considering who they're allied with. They're naturally gifted archers, and due to previous attacks and assaults on their homeland, have been tempered to be amazing defenders as well. So be careful, especially in Cyrodiil. If you see some of these guys on top of the walls, be careful to wear a helmet and be cautious when approaching, because they will get you. Also known to be used guerrilla warfare. So yeah, be careful. Again, they're quite scary. The Khajiit, these upright walking felines of Tamriel, are sly and witty, as you would expect from a cat. I'm not sure about Curious. Curiosity killed the cat, but they're still around, so I guess they're not too much in the curious department. But the Khajiit are strong fighters and agile, again as you would expect from a cat. But their will to repay the Queen of the Elves is their real motivation in this alliance, and it's strong enough that they will fight to the death, so be careful to engage them. And also don't take them lightly even if they have no weaponry, because they could still rip out your throat with those powerful jaws, or perhaps puncture your gullet with sharpened claws. Yeah, Khajiit always have a weapon, so be careful. And then finally on this list, definitely not last, but not least, I should say, Daggerfall Covenant. With the leadership of the diplomatic King Emmerich, the Daggerfall Covenant fight for the Ruby Throne, if for no other reason than to prevent those damn High Elves of the Eldmeri Dominion to rule over them. They house a variety of skills and talents, which come from the Bretons first off, the humans, smaller than the Nords of the North, but are blessed by elvish blood, which was from some weird interracial hanky-panky from a long time ago, but it still lingers in their bloodline, and as such they have great magical prowess. And their human heritage, on the other hand, provides them good skills in fighting, just as it did the Nords. So these characters and these people are very skilled in both fighting with hand-to-hand and weaponry as well as magics. So be careful, because you never know what the humans of High Rock are going to throw out. Perhaps a broadsword, they're going to cleave your head, or perhaps an explosive fireball. Be careful when engaging them. On to the next one, the Red Guard. The darker toned Red Guard are peoples which come from the harsh deserts of Alakir and are an honorable people which should not be taken lightly at all. They are lithe and acrobatic combatants that have learned from their time in the desolate wastes, skilled in weaponry of all kinds. The Red Guard are some of the most fearsome warriors in all of Tamriel. And I guess that's what happens when only the strongest survive is a motto which rings loud and clear every day you live in the desert. And the Orcs, finally, are the last race of this alliance. The Orsimer, as they're called in Elvish, are an honorable people who value strength over all else. They are known to be barbaric and ruthless sometimes on the field of battle, and sometimes out of battle as well. The Orcs are not to be trifled with by the unskilled, or shit, even the skilled should be scared of them. They hone amazingly crafted weapons and armors because they are the best blacksmiths in all of Tamriel. And be careful walking towards them, because the Orcs bring the brute force. They bring the punch to the Daggerfall Covenant. Now, guys, that was pretty much my little overview of the factions and the races. Very quick overview, because there's not a ton. Since this is in the past, we don't really know all of the things. And I'm not a huge lore nerd, so don't kill me if I don't know something obvious. But these are the races. Let's take a look at the classes. This one's going to be quick because there's a real tie to the skill lines for customization. So just think of these as foundations for what to build up to. I'll do a whole separate video on the skill lines. So let's get right to the classes. There are 4 classes in ESO, at least at launch. I expect there will be more with expansions and stuff like that. That's, I feel like, an obvious thing. The first one is Dragon Knight. These great warriors which harness flame and earth to both damage opponents and shield themselves from damage. All the footage and stuff that we've seen, the footage and interviews, suggests that the Dragon Knight is inherently tough and tanky. He's tough to kill, and he can do it all, really. He's shown to be a well-balanced fighter. He kind of reminds me of a warrior from other MMOs and RPGs. He's going to be pretty balanced, and really whatever you equip him with, he should be able to do fairly well. So he'll be a good starting point, I think, for a lot of people who are new to MMOs. The next one here is the Templar. This is sort of the paladin of ESO, and it's pretty different from the others, because from the little bit of leaked information and interviews and all of that have suggested that this is the only class that will have healing abilities inherent in the actual class skill lines. Everyone else will have to utilize a restoration staff, which is one of the weapons, and I'll get into that in another video as well. This class is pretty interesting for that reason, but also because they're kind of they use the light, but as far as I know, there's no suggestion that they're utilizing religion like you would see in other MMOs or fantasy, where the paladin type character is using a religious belief to harness godly power. This character, they seem to be using something more along the lines of the sun to blind and stun and burn and just overall dominate opponents if it comes to that. And between that and their healing, I feel like this is going to be a good class to play if you want to be kind of a support, but like to bash some heads every now and then. And then next on the list is the Sorcerer, the Masters of Magic in ESO's universe. The Sorcerers use arcane power from the world. They harness this energy to pull the elements to their will and damage enemies that way, and to summon minions. They use some Daedric summoning, which is a little bit dark. And they also have, it's been revealed, a dark magic skill line, which kind of gives the impression of what would be kind of a warlock in WoW terms or other fantasy terms. Kind of the guy that utilizes his own health to sacrifice and damage opponents. Really the kind of dark play style some people like to do with the warlocks and that sort of thing. If you like to shoot fireballs and lightning and summon enemy or hordes of creatures and all that sort of thing to fight by your side, the Sorcerer is going to be the one for you. I feel like they're going to be the flashy class of this game. which is usually the case with sorcerers. They get all the flashy skills which do big explosions and have all the particle effects. So if you're into that, the sorcerer will be for you. And lastly, but definitely not least on this one as well, the Nightblade. This class has not gotten a lot of concrete information. In fact, it originally came out as just a mess up on stage. One of the devs accidentally said it out loud that there was going to be the 4th class, the Nightblade, and it was before the actual reveal. Since then, they've been okay to say it in interviews, but we have zero information. All that we really know is that the Nightblade is going to be the same kind of archetype as previous. As far as I know, it's just a class from a previous test game in which it's sort of a mix between assassin and magic using. Now, it seems to be, rumor and speculation is really suggesting that this class will be the one to utilize sort of the stealth aspects and the perhaps even archery. That might be even one skill line, we don't know. Because of the way that the weapons work, it's hard to say how they'll do that. But it looks to be that there's probably going to be a skill line for magic, perhaps illusionary magic. A lot of fans are wanting that. There's going to be one that perhaps enhances ranged combat, like I said, archery, and then there's going to be one that sort of tailors itself to a stealthy kind of play style. Now, like I said before, these classes are really just the building blocks. It's just the beginning. It's going to be your main go-to for the beginning of the game, I imagine, when you're first getting into it and establishing yourself in Tamriel after creating your character. And once you're plopped into your different alliance zone to start playing, your skills will grow, and then you'll have your weapon of choice. And that's, like I said, that's going to be a whole nother video because that's quite extensive. So I will get into that in great detail in another video. That's it for me, guys. I'm going to like I said, I'm going to do multiple videos in this kind of style, much quicker than my previous content. Thanks again for watching. This has been Pulse. Stick around for updates. Like, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I wish I would get some comments down below. I would really love some feedback from you guys. Thanks again. Come back next time. Bye.